They voted themselves into oblivion. Athens invented democracy. 2 centuries later, its own citizens destroyed it. The warning signs were everywhere. No one listened. 508 BC. A nobleman named Cleisthenes stood before the Athenian assembly with a radical idea. What if citizens governed themselves? No kings. No tyrants. The people would vote on laws, elect leaders, and hold trials. It was unprecedented. Revolutionary. The wealthy elite called it madness. They said common farmers and craftsmen could never make wise decisions. But Cleisthenes won the argument. Athens became the first democracy in human history. And for generations, it worked. The city became the cultural center of the ancient world. Philosophy, theater, architecture flourished. But their greatest strength became their fatal weakness. Because democracy requires something most societies cannot sustain. And the Athenians had no idea what was coming. The Golden Age arrived under a leader named Pericles. Brilliant, charismatic, and genuinely devoted to democracy. Under his guidance, Athens reached heights no city had achieved before. The Parthenon rose on the Acropolis. Sophocles wrote tragedies that still move audiences today. Socrates walked the streets asking dangerous questions. Athens commanded a vast naval empire. Tribute flowed from over 200 allied states. Citizens enjoyed unprecedented freedom. And then the empire made a mistake it could not undo. Pericles convinced Athens to go to war with Sparta, a conflict that would last nearly 3 decades. At first, the strategy worked. Athens controlled the seas. But war has a way of revealing the cracks in any system. If you are learning something new, drop a like. It helps more than you know. Pericles died in 429 BC. A plague swept through Athens, killing 1/3 of the population. And with Pericles gone, democracy revealed its most dangerous vulnerability. The assembly became a battlefield for ambitious speakers. Men who cared more about winning arguments than winning wars. What happened next changed history forever. A new generation of leaders emerged. Demagogues. They told citizens what they wanted to hear, not what they needed to know. They promised glory and easy victories. Complex problems were reduced to simple slogans. Moderate voices were drowned out by those shouting the loudest. The assembly that once debated philosophy now voted on rage and fear. Think about that for a second. The same democracy that produced Socrates was now being manipulated by men who would eventually execute him. 415 BC. Athens faced a critical choice. The Spartans offered peace. After years of stalemate, both sides were exhausted. Moderate leaders urged acceptance. But a young aristocrat named Alcibiades had other plans. Handsome, wealthy, and impossibly arrogant, Alcibiades convinced the assembly to reject peace and launch an invasion of Sicily instead. Conquer Syracuse, he promised, and Athens would dominate the entire Mediterranean. The plan was reckless. Sicily was far away. The Athenian army had no experience with siege warfare. Veteran generals warned against it. But Alcibiades spoke with such confidence, such charisma. The assembly voted overwhelmingly for invasion. But the real tragedy was just beginning. Because what Alcibiades did not tell them was that Syracuse had powerful allies. And the expedition would cost Athens nearly everything. But everything I just told you, that was just the setup. The Sicilian expedition became the greatest military disaster in Athenian history. 200 ships, 40,000 men, sent across the sea on a gamble. And then it got worse. Alcibiades himself was recalled to face trial for a scandal. Instead of returning, he defected to Sparta. He told them exactly how to defeat his own city. The fall was coming. Nobody saw it. The siege of Syracuse dragged on for 2 years. Reinforcements were sent. More ships. More men. All destroyed. The Athenian fleet was trapped in the harbor and annihilated. Survivors were thrown into stone quarries and left to die. Athens lost an entire generation of soldiers. If you want to see how this democracy finally ended, make sure you are subscribed. Because what came next was even worse than the military defeat. Athens never recovered from Sicily. The treasury was empty. The fleet destroyed. Allied states began to revolt. Sparta, funded by Persian gold, built a navy of its own. And this is where everything fell apart. The democracy that had survived Persian invasions began tearing itself apart from within. Desperate citizens turned on each other. Oligarchs blamed democrats. Democrats blamed oligarchs. In 411 BC, a group of wealthy citizens staged a coup. They called themselves the 400. Democracy was suspended. But the coup failed within months, torn apart by internal feuds. Democracy returned briefly, then fell again. And again. Drop your prediction in the comments.